Well, good morning and welcome. And welcome. I'm Henry Collins, a member of the board here at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Reston. Whether you are on Zoom or right here with us in the church sanctuary, we are so glad you are joining us this morning. Remember that no matter how old or how young you are, wherever you may be on your spiritual journey, however you identify, or whomever you love, please know that you are welcome here. You are indeed welcome to this place, whether you are attending this service in person or online. In fact, to my fellow congregants who are present in person, let's take a moment to wave hello to our online participants right up there. And Bill's wearing his new pajamas, I can tell. That's good. Okay, great. Well, Reverend Aileen is off today, and it is my honor to welcome back our friend and guest minister, the Semi-Reverend Cara Fortner, who is always reverent, however, but she'll explain that later. Cara, you are a bright spot of sunshine on this somewhat overcast and gloomy morning, so we're happy you're here this morning. I do have several announcements to share with you this morning. One of our child care providers, Tamina Dodger, is away for a couple of months visiting her family. As a result, we are looking for paid substitutes to help watch children in the nursery during worship services and to clean up during or after coffee hour on Sunday mornings, and even to make coffee, as I discovered this morning. Please contact Linda Weaver if you are interested in finding out more about these opportunities. Anything else I need to say about that? Okay. Moving on, a special outdoor weekend is in store this coming weekend. You can be a part of the UUCR campout at Lake Fairfax this Friday and Saturday, or you can join congregants at the UUCR campsite just on Saturday during the day. There will be activities, an evening dinner, worship, and campfire treats, and I understand s'mores will be involved. Please sign up by Monday or tomorrow so sufficient food can be procured. There's a link in the UU Reston Connection email where you can sign up. You can also contact Kelsey Rideout. Kelsey's back there, waving his hand frantically. Okay, thank you, Kelsey. Or Linda for more information. I understand it's promised to be a very intense weekend. See, we have tents, and we'll be in the, no. But there's no guarantee. It's estimated that half of Virginians can't afford to live where they do live, and many families are being pushed into either long commutes, unsafe housing, or having to move out of state. You are invited to join VOICE, which stands for Virginians Organized for Interfaith Community Engagement, to which we as a congregation contribute funds every year, which is a group of faith leaders, nonprofits, businesses, and elected officials to join them on Sunday, October 19th, next Sunday, in the afternoon, 3:30 to 5, at the Flores United Methodist Church. Again, that's Flores United Methodist Church, for a powerful call to action on Virginia's housing crisis. This reminds me, by the way, that this is the month's second Sunday, speaking of charities, which means that today's collection will go toward a designated charity, which we'll explain when we get there. And finally, after the service today, Tim Norton of our Social Justice and Social Action Committee. Tim, where are you? Back there, okay. Thank you. We'll be leading a postcard writing session to encourage voters in other locations to vote in November. As you know, obviously, I think, this is a very important election that Virginia has coming up in November. Excuse me. Don't worry if you forgot your crayons today. Tim will have a supply of colored markers and promises to have your favorite color. So you can This is Katura's bundle. She's finished them all. She's done her homework very, very colorfully. And as you can see, anyone with a artistic or semi-artistic bent can, including with the necessary information about how to vote and where, and the encouragement actually to vote. These are all going to the Petersburg area. And it's a very simple process. I know many of us have been engaged in that, and Tim will have this workshop, this session. Tim, where will it be taking place? The boardroom, maybe? Okay. Boardroom sounds like a good bet, I think. All right. And it may be interesting to note that Katura received a postcard encouraging her to vote from someone in Kansas City. So they're worried about what we're doing here. That's great. Okay. So after the service, boardroom, markers and postcards and stamps will be provided. Tim, do you know about how long this might last? Days? Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. Please keep that in mind. Now, let us center ourselves for worship. Please take a moment to silence or turn off your electronic devices, such as that. And please take some quieting, deep breaths with me. And let us enter our time of worship together as we enjoy this morning's prelude.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Cara Fortner. I am actually a minister now. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. I saw the MFC 2 weeks ago. They gave me some contingencies, and I fulfilled them as of Friday. So it's taken me 5 years, 3 months, and 2 weeks. But I am here as a minister. This congregation, the UU congregation at church in Reston, is my home church. It is this church in which I found my voice in this pulpit. I spent the last year as an intern at the Fairfax congregation, and I'm looking forward to my ministry, hopefully staying in Northern Virginia. I'm very grateful to be with you all this morning and to see so many faces that I know and love, and new faces that are still coming in and finding something awesome within these walls. So thank you for that. This weekend is also, as we know, Indigenous Peoples Weekend. So I have some words from Laura Bogle called "This is Our Home, but Not Just Ours." We gather here to remember this is our home, but not just ours. This land we live on, this water we drink, this air we breathe, these old mountains that hold us steady to our ground, these forests that give their healing green, these flowers that give their beauty and fragrance, these fields that give us our daily bread, these stars that show us our place, the wilderness and the tame backyards, all of it our home. We remember the ancestors who have lived on this land and who have shaped it, the indigenous peoples, the settlers, the mountaineers, the farmers, the hunters, the immigrants, the artists, the families, the explorers, the business people, the engineers, the builders, the scientists, the teachers, the workers, the leaders. We inherit their choices. We honor the animals and creatures that have made their home in this land, the ones here now, and the ones that used to be here. We envision the future generations who live on this land, and let their voices fill our hearts. We gather here to remember this is our home, but not just ours.
Hymn is number 123, Spirit of Life. Please rise and bow to your spirit and join us in singing.
All the stirrings of compassion. Good morning. Our chalice lighting words today come from Daniel Carsten-Pelak. Holding the light. Gather up whatever has tumbled in the waves, fallen in the gutter, fallen in flames out of the sky. For it's not only our hearts that are broken, but the heart of the world as well. Stitch it back together. Make a place where the day speaks to the night and the earth speaks to the sky, whether we created God or God created us. It all comes down to this in our imperfect world. We are meant to repair and stitch together. What beauty there is, stitch it. With compassion and wire, see how everything we have made gathers the light inside itself and overflows a blessing.
We have a tradition here at UUCR of singing our covenant together every Sunday morning. Love is the spirit of this church. We remain seated to sing our covenant together. If you are here this morning for the very first time, we invite you to accept this song as our blessing to you.
Good morning. Now is the time for all ages, so if anyone is feeling young of body or young of spirit, I invite you to come forward. And welcome, welcome. And do we have anyone here who would like to open the Wonder Box? Let's see, how about Angela? I wonder what's inside the box today. Can you hold that up and show everyone? It's a turtle. Okay, thank you. And I think you can put it right on top of our box now. So I wonder why that's there. Our story today is from something written by Theodore Parker. And I'm adapting What the Turtle Taught Theodore by Gary Kowalski. One day, when Theodore was just 4 or 5 years old, he was walking along the field near his home, absent-mindedly swinging a stick. Then he saw a creek, and he stopped to watch the water bubble over the rocks. On one of the rocks, he saw a turtle sunning itself. As he looked at the turtle, he remembered how the big kids sometimes took sticks and hit small animals. They always looked like they were having fun, and Theodore wanted to be like the big kids. So he lifted up his stick to hit the turtle and push it off the rock. But something inside him stopped him. He looked at the turtle, and it was just sitting there quietly and peacefully enjoying the sun. And he thought, has this turtle ever done anything to hurt me? This turtle isn't that much different than me. It's enjoying this summer day. And he put the stick down. He walked back home thinking about this, thinking about what might have stopped him. And when he got home, he told his mother all about it. His mother carefully listened, and when he was done, she said, Theodore, that force that stopped you was your voice of conscience telling you what was the right thing to do. If you listen to that voice, it will be like a compass pointing you in the right direction. Don't forget to pay attention to it. Theodore Parker grew up to become a Universalist minister. He preached about that still small voice that tells us what is the right thing to do. He became a champion for people who were oppressed and treated poorly. He was a hero in the fight to end slavery, and he worked for women's rights. There are many, many more Unitarians, Universalists, and Unitarian Universalists who have listened to that still small voice of compassion and conscience. One was Clara Barton. Clara Barton became a nurse during the Civil War and took care of soldiers on both sides of the war. Then she founded the Red Cross to help people during times of war and disaster. Martha and Reverend Waitstill Sharp during World War II went to Europe, and they helped people escape persecution or cruel treatment. There are many, many more, including people out here, people just like you. We have members who are working to get out the vote, which you can help with this afternoon, people who are supporting temporary shelters, and immigrant families. Last Sunday in religious education, some of our children created and put on skits where they showed that they listen to that still small voice and care for animals, share with others, and help their neighbors. And today, they'll be helping their neighbors with packing bags of toiletries to go to people who are facing housing insecurity. And we'll do other activities to explore compassion. Anyone in 12th grade or younger is invited to join them, and we'll sing you out with Go With Joy. And that will be projected here, and it's in your order of service.
We have now reached the point in our service dedicated to joys and concerns, so that no one has to hold them alone. If you are joining us remotely this morning, you may wish to light a real or virtual candle wherever you are to mark what is on your heart. As members of those in the in-person congregation, place stones in the water here in the sanctuary. If those of you at home would like to share what is on your heart today, in the congregational chat, you can write it in there and write it to all attendees. And remember that what you share is public. Those at home may then read each other's joys and concerns shared in the chat and then enter into your own time of reflection and prayer. as we all listen to Diane play our meditation music. Please come forward. I invite us now into a moment of reflection, meditation, and prayer. Spirit of life and love, God known by many names, often by no name at all. Thank you for being available to us now, as you are always available to us to participate in your loving movement. May we be open to the ways in which we may show and share more compassion and joy. May we know our worth and the worth of all others. May we continue to be curious throughout our precious lives. And may we be open to learning always. May the end of violence in Gaza remain the real peace and begin for a people who have so much to put back together. May Israelis and Palestinians find a way forward that is in your true movement, dear Spirit, that hopes for so much. May that hope be on our minds, on our lips, and in our hearts as we navigate the tragedies and celebrations of our lives. And may we know the love and be that love. Amen.
Dedicated offering to an organization chosen by the Social Justice and Social Action Committee. All of today's offering, except for pledge payments, which should be clearly marked, please, will go to Shelter House. Shelter House is a community-based, nonprofit organization serving families experiencing homelessness and victims of domestic violence in Fairfax and Loudoun counties. It was formed in 1981 when several ecumenical groups came together to better serve Fairfax County's low-income population. In 1985, Shelter House's facility was moved to its current location in Falls Church. In 2007, Shelter House was awarded Fairfax County's contract to operate the Catherine K. Hanley Family Shelter in Fairfax. In 2010, Shelter House became the first nonprofit to operate Artemis House, Fairfax County's only 24-hour domestic violence shelter. They recently merged with Family Pass, another organization, so that they can now also provide long-term case management for those at risk of homelessness. So they're quite busy. You can make your donation at the link in the chat and on your order of service by entering your donation into the Charity of the Month donation box in the online form. You can also write a check to UUCR with Shelter House in the memo and put it in the offering basket or mail it to the church. And of course, you may put cash in the offering basket, or you can do all of those things. That's okay too. Thank you for your generous support of this important community resource.
Thank you so much. It is so much fun when we have the bells playing. You all did a lovely job. Thank you. I'm going to start this sermon with some words from my favorite theologian, Howard Thurman. He said, "There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls." I wonder how well we are hearing the sound of the genuine in ourselves these days. It is not always an easy thing to hear, especially when news cycles are rough and anxiety and sad hearts accompany us on the mornings that we wake up and play at the edges of our hearts. We can easily be distracted from the important spiritual work of taking the time and making the intentional commitment to being in relationship with our authentic selves, listening for that sound of the genuine. Thurman, who was always advocating for spiritual practice, does not mince his words when he talks about the consequences of neglecting that relationship, that we will be on the ends of strings that someone else pulls. And we do not want that. We are thoughtful, passionate people, and we should not easily let anyone pull our strings. But cultivating that relationship with ourselves is not always easy. In fact, it is often incredibly difficult. The relationship we have with our authentic selves, that sound of the genuine, is suppressed in some of us more than it is in others. Some of us have been labeled and categorized as less than for who we authentically are. And that can make it that much harder to sit your genuine self down and have a cup of tea with them. You might invite them there and they just show up to look at you, weary from the messaging they've been receiving from the world, maybe even weary from the messages you've been feeding them. You have to be gentle with your weary soul and start feeding them some wholesome truth, the unshakable truth that each one of us, no matter where we come from, what we have done, or what others might say, each one of us holds immeasurable worth. And we should really not trust everything we tell ourselves. We've not reached nirvana. Are the Buddhists in the house? Has anyone here reached nirvana? Are you there? You're not there? No, not yet. Not yet. Working towards it. What about perfection? Is anyone here perfect? No? I was hoping maybe like someone would be perfect. I am a minister. Am I perfect? No. No, none of us are perfect, and it really is not even the goal. It is not the goal. Perfection is not. We are flawed. We make mistakes, and we tell ourselves terribly wrong things all the time. Trust that we will make mistakes, and also that there is grace, forgiveness, allowance, the don't you worry about a thingness that grace can offer. In fact, I would make sure to invite grace to your kitchen table conversation with your authentic self. She is a lovely mediator. Grace will break the tension in the room and tidy up any leftovers from a less nutritious meal you may have shared with yourself at some other point in time, tossing it directly in the trash where it belongs. And Sophia, or Lady Wisdom, she should also get an invitation to this conversation. And to give you an idea of who Lady Wisdom is, I'll share these words from another favorite theologian and nun. Her name is Elizabeth Johnson. She writes, texts in the biblical wisdom writings feature Sophia, holy wisdom, a divine figure of power and might. She shouts in the marketplace and at the city gates in a most unladylike manner, calling people to grow up and stop hurting each other and walk in her path of justice. She is Israel's God in female imagery. Indeed, her promise in Proverbs 8:35, whoever finds me finds life, could not be made by anyone else. Sophia can be rowdy and challenging, but she will keep you honest. Inviting your authentic self, grace and wisdom to the table takes trust. Real trust takes a certain kind of giving up, a surrendering. It requires risk. And I wonder, what do you risk by trusting yourself? As Thurman stated, what you risk if you don't is allowing another person or people to be in charge of your destiny, to have control over how you think and feel, to pull your strings. But trust takes letting go of fear. It takes being vulnerable, uncomfortable. It takes showing kindness to yourself and reserving judgment. One thing about liberal religion, and if that is a new term for you, you should know that we are a liberal tradition born out of a long legacy and history. Within this history, we have seen theological evolution, including upholding personal experience as a source of wisdom, or as our ancestors in UUism might say, revelation. Personal experience means that though you are just one of billions of people on this earth, that you matter. You and your one individual self, you matter. What happens to you matters, how it affects you matters, and that is a truth for every human on earth. Linda shared that wonderful story about Theodore Parker, one of our original Unitarian ministers, about the turtle and his young self. And before Theodore Parker came William Ellery Channing. He was really the first voice of Unitarianism in our country. And he was a grounded, very spiritual voice, outspoken. And he paved the way for liberal religion. And he has a kind of a similar-ish story to Theodore Parker when he was young. One day his father took him to church, to a local church with a very famous preacher who was speaking, who was very entrenched in Calvinistic theology, which is that only the elect will make it to heaven, and all of us are lost souls in a universe depraved and terrible, wretched people. This is theology that he went to and saw with his father. And his father said, "That is sound doctrine." And the story goes that on his way home in the car with his father started whistling. And then when they got home, his dad took out the newspaper and just started reading it. Like what he had heard wasn't true. And Channing said, "Well, I guess that's not it." That can't be it. It cannot be true. You cannot live with this knowledge and be able to be light. You cannot really believe it. He doesn't believe it, he said. My father doesn't believe it. It is not true. And while this story tells us something of his resistance to early Orthodox theology, it also suggests a trait of his mind, the way he was thinking. that action is the most important signpost of a theology. And Channing was true to his experience. He trusted what he saw and witnessed in the actions his father took, and he listened to the sound of the genuine in himself, giving him certainty at his young age, something about the truth of God. It was his faith through his experience and communion with his genuine self which caused him to reject the idea that we are wretched, depraved, loathsome creatures. Thank goodness. We have the ability to reject horrible lies. Lies which might cause us to forget our own worth or the worth of others. And that takes trusting ourselves and our judgment. Trust also that we are a diverse people, no matter what anyone might try to tell us. We are ourselves the ones who come from long lineages with rich, varied histories that have brought us to this very moment. We are, whether we are acknowledged well or not, we are. And as co-liberators, which is a term I've come to use now instead of allies, those of us who sit in seats of privilege must radiantly, assuredly, passionately affirm our most marginalized siblings' worth out loud for all to hear. For we are beautiful. You are beautiful. We must affirm a culture of love and belonging. It is important that we do not give up on that. Our voices that are sure of that in our bones need to feed it to ourselves and to those around us. We are the keepers of the fire that warm our hearts and illuminate our paths. We keep those fires lit. And we need each other. Each other. We are in a web of all existence. That value of interdependence is true. With each other, with this planet, on this corner of space. The world is all of us. And it is easy to disregard or ignore that. After all, we are born into a society which benefits from the exploitation of the world's resources. Resources like its people. We didn't create the structures and the frameworks in which we are living, but we can help to shape them as we move into the future. We must not lose the knowledge that we can do that. We can make this world a more loving place for all its unique and varied souls. We must not lose that knowledge of our own worth and our neighbor's worth. We must bravely live our values and lift ourselves and each other up. This church and all UU congregations are communities of resistance. As Rebecca Ann Parker regularly reminds us, and she is a very famous theologian in UU circles, and president of Star King School for the Ministry. It is in our bones, our history, and it will be our strength as we navigate these strange and uncertain waters we find ourselves in. We can resist, not by allowing no one to blow out the light of our joy. By celebrating the unique bodies we each have, which come in a myriad of colors, abilities, sizes, our fleshy vessels that feel pain and pleasure, heartache and elation, to continue to boldly and unapologetically show allegiance to the worth of every human life, however that life shows up in the world, and nurture it so it may reciprocate that understanding of worth to all others. This, to me, is healing, and we so desperately need healing from the collective trauma that our American society has felt, shaped by years of slavery and Jim Crow, patriarchy, colonization, many harms, many patterns that have caused us to be where we are now. Our greater society needs healing, and our individual selves and our individual stories need healing just as much. I want to lift up these words from Max Stackhouse in his introduction to James Luther Adams's On Being Human Religiously. And he is, James Luther Adams is a OG in Unitarian thought and theology. He writes, liberalism is something at its best when under pressure, for then it must decide what must be fought for, preserved, and renewed, and what must be jettisoned. Friends, I tell you, jettison the voices that feed us the idea that hatred and bigotry is anything worth our attention or allegiance. Reject them like Channing rejected a theology that told him he and all people were depraved. Allow grace to throw those insidious lies in the trash, and let wisdom remind you that it is fools who rally around hatred. And fight for love and justice, for a true shalom and salam, which is flourishing, not just peace, for all. Preserve the freedoms that have been hard won by those who came before us, and renew your faith in your beautiful and genuine self. Loved and known by a transcendent force of freedom that wishes not just peace but flourishing for you and for all. Now is the time to trust ourselves and what we know to be true. Now is not a time to hide our voices of hope, our faith of freedom. We must not lose ourselves nor our values in the midst of uncertainty and fear. I say this knowing it is much easier said than done to overcome fear, but our faith demands bravery. One of the most beautiful things about a faith community is that we do not do that alone. We have each other. Now is a time to have that kitchen table conversation with your genuine self, along with ladies' wisdom and grace, and make it a standing date. But you have to be the convener. You have to decide to bring them together. You must take the risk of trusting yourself so that you do not risk others telling you who you are. Thank you.
Number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. Well, please rise and bow to your spirit and join us. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul.
incredible forces of love. Put the water on, call grace with all of her spaciousness, and wisdom with all of her strength, and listen to your weary soul, your authentic and genuine self. For they are your truest guide, who won't let anyone attach strings to you and pull them however they wish. Trust that our liberal faith can fight for, preserve, and renew all that we hold sacred, that together, in this interdependent web of existence, we can build a more love-saturated world in which no one doubts their worth.
The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each one of you. Carry that flame with you as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially with those you have yet to meet.
Our postlude today is a hymn number 311, Let It Be a Dance. So I invite you one more time to rise in body or spirit and let's sing together. Hymn number 311.
Let nothing's wrong and nothing's right. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, share the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
Thank you so much to Cara for leading our service today, and thank you all for coming, and have a lovely afternoon.